Okay, welcome back to my channel. Sorry about the glare. I'm sitting in traffic, of course, because I'm on 80. The last 2 times I have come home this way. Sorry, the truck is so loud. I have sat in traffic for, I don't know, and I went up Delaware Water Gap up and around 80, so I thought that I was going to miss this, but I guess it just funneled me right into where the traffic is. So anyway, but at least it's a Wednesday and it's like 1 o'clock, so it's not like seriously that bad. Thank God. But I'm just like sitting here like thinking about things. My armpit hurts, like this. I swear to God, there's something wrong with me, and it's like been since I had kids, my armpits started swelling and, you know, just a bunch of craziness. I did go and get a mammogram this year to just make sure that it wasn't like some cancerous tumor or something, but like it makes me nervous because like my grandmother had breast cancer and it was in the same spot. It was in her, like her breast tissue of her armpit, so it's like the exact same place. Even though she didn't feel that it was like a hereditary cancer, like, I don't know, it just makes me nervous. And also, like, I feel like there's a lot of issues that I could have just from the Crohn's medicine that I'm on, so, I'm just like, and I noticed, like, with this swelling, like, when I stopped nursing Amaya, it didn't really go down, and, like, yeah, I've gained weight, but it definitely gets bigger and smaller depending on like where I am in my cycle, so that is something that's kind of alarming and worrisome to me. However, when I saw the, what are they called? Urologist? Cancer doctor? I think, urologist, I don't know. Is that the urine? I feel like I'm losing my mind. Anyway, whenever I went to the doctor the first time about it, they were like, oh, it's just probably fatty tissue, you know, because you gained weight and you had a baby and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but also, like, this is like I think this is like the boob that either overproduced or was the slacker boob. Obviously it's one or the other, but I'm not sure which. But I also, like, it's been going on like 6 years, so I'm like this is kind of concerning, you know. But that's not why I wanted to start this video today. I was thinking, like, I just was driving home and I'm like listening to music and like rocking out and like listening to songs that I like. And I just heard this song that I like that I think it's called July by Noah Cyrus and Leon Bridges. And if you don't know Leon Bridges, you need to like go listen to him now, because he's got like such a beautiful voice and like soulful, and it's just I love his music. Kind of has like an old-timey sound to him, and I don't know, like, I actually thought he was like from back in the day, like the 60s, but I think he's, you know, contemporary. At least the last time I looked up his discography or whatever they call it these days. Is it discography? preschool, but like honestly, like it's a lot, and like I'm definitely looking for other jobs because it's just really hard. Like, you know, the kids that I work with, like they don't sit and do their work. It's not like, you know, being in a special needs classroom is not the same as being in a regular preschool. And I go to the regular, I guess it's more like inclusion. I go to the inclusion classrooms next door, and you know, in the other parts of the school that I'm in, and you see how much different it is. And like even still, I could never be a teacher, like absolutely never, especially a preschool teacher. Like it was great to sub and do preschool. I loved subbing with the little kids, but that's not a day in, day out thing. Like you don't have to do that. You don't have to, you know, go into work and deal with the behaviors. And you know, lots of kids' behavior is just them not being told no and just running around and not sitting at the table. I feel like nobody sits at the table anymore and eats dinner or eats food. Everybody has iPads and blah blah blah, you know. So like I feel like especially like COVID babies, which are the children that are coming in now for preschool, like 3 and under, I'd say. My daughter is a COVID baby, so I don't know. I think that she's pretty well adjusted, socialization wise, like, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I was thinking like, I wonder if she'll be eligible to get into the school that my son's in now, like next year. Because if she's 2 now, I think when you turn 3, you might be able to get into it. I don't know. It really just depends on the location, I think. But I'm kind of hoping that, or there's like a church around the corner from us. They have a preschool, so I could always enroll her in that. But just like, it's like so crazy how you start working. Like I'm so happy that I'm working again. Like I would say it's been a huge shift in my mental well-being, you know, like, and now it's like just the fact that I'm in the car for an hour by myself without a kid latching onto me or asking me for snacks or something, like it makes it so much easier just to like go home and deal with my kids. Like, and I actually miss my kids, I think, more because like I'm with kids that don't really have the same capacities as my children. They you know, they communicate in their own way, and it's actually like been helping me to communicate with my daughter, who's still not really like talking yet. Like she's not even 2, so she says certain things, like I think she says thank you, she says no, yes, mama, dada, baba. She says Lela and Lelo, which is our kind of like abbreviated Spanish version of abuela and abuelo. She says some other stuff too, like hello. She just started saying no, so I'm like, I hope it doesn't get to be like how it was with like Xavier. I mean, every kid goes through that point where they're like, no, no, no. But she's like, she is sassy. But I'm excited because I have an interview today with an organization. It's like a museum place, a local place. Not local to me, but Allentown, that I really wanted to work for when Amaya was a baby. So I think that I had an interview with them like a year and a half ago. At this point, because if she's a year and a half, yeah, she was like tiny the first time I interviewed with them. I'm sure they were like, oh, she just had a baby, like we're not gonna hire her. But also I think that like I have more experience. But I also have another interview with a national organization that's, I guess they're not affiliates, I can't remember what the lady said to me. Federated or something, I don't know. So I have that interview, the second, I guess it's like the second one. I'm meeting with like the committee next week, and that's gonna be on Zoom. This one today is on Zoom. I really kind of like wish I would have in-person interviews, because I feel like things to take off of work and things like that. So I'm excited about that. That's the one that I really hope I get, because it's actually a director position, which would be like the next step in line for me. You know, like my last job that I had 6 years ago, it was like database management, so it was like information systems manager, which like I can do that job, and that's what the job at the museum is more like. But I might say to them today when I talk to them, like, you know, I saw that there were 2 roles open, and I think that I could possibly do like a hybrid of those. However, the pay is like, for the one that I'm interviewing for today, the pay is like way less than I want. Not like terribly less, but still like a lot less than I was making before, like a couple $1,000s less. So like I definitely want the other one a little more, just money wise, and it's also like a more challenging situation and position for me. It'd be more like front of the line fundraising, and that's something that I want to do. I don't want so much to do like the back end, like information technology kind of aspect of it. I really would like to be able to be a consultant, but I feel like I need to get back into it in order to get there, to be a consultant. And right now, like, you know, my husband's self-employed, so it's like I need to carry the benefits and all that, you know. So I don't know. I'm really hoping that like something turns out, and I feel like it will. Like I'd be more likely to get a job now because I'm actually working, even though like my resume says like I've been working this whole time. Like I've been, you know, I did VIP kid for so long, and I was doing the management of my husband's social media up until like, you know, July or whatever, when we started getting ready to sell the house, and I was just too busy to do it. But I mean, I think a lot of the skills that I've learned, even just like doing like YouTube and stuff, like I have learned things like a little bit of search engine optimization, things like that. Like that will help me no matter what I do job wise. But like I was thinking I was gonna do this like stuff with the little kids, but like it's too exhausting. Not when I have little kids at home doing the same kind of things. Like I don't want to be telling kids to sit down all day, all morning, and all afternoon, and then have to go home and deal with my kids. Like it's just too much. Like, because by the time dinner comes, like I have no patience for my children. Whereas if I was working, you know, not directly with little kids, I would probably be more patient with my kids when I came home. You know, because like they have behaviors. Everybody has behaviors. But the nice thing about this job is like I'm working with my mom. Yeah, it's an hour away, but I'm able to write off my mileage. I'm gonna be able to write off like all the clothing that I've had to buy because I haven't been working so long. But I'm really, really hoping that I get the one that I have the interview for next week. I really think that the lady who would be my boss, I feel like she might actually even be younger than me. Like, I don't know, I looked her up. But she seems like she's really intelligent. She seems like she would be a great mentor, like fundraising wise, like to learn. And like, I think that it would be a good opportunity for me to actually be able to do the front of the line fundraising and get myself back out there in my, you know, in my career. Because I didn't ever, like, I was never going to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, ideally, it was like, oh yeah, I wish I could be a stay-at-home mom. But financially, like, it's not, like, the only people I feel like that enjoy being a stay-at-home mom is if they're financially sound. Like, if you're poor and you're a stay-at-home mom, it sucks because you're you know, you're looking at your spouse with resentment. They're looking at you with resentment because you're not working. lost in motherhood. You know what I mean? Like, having a job gives you an identity, like, more so than just being a mom. And I'm not downplaying how hard it is to be a mom. I'm just saying that, like, being a stay-at-home mom, you lose a lot of your identity. Like, you really do. Like, I mean, I did it for like 6 years, and I don't know, 6 years, I guess, like 5-ish years since like 2018. So I think in May it would be 6 years. But hopefully this works out. If it doesn't, I don't know. I might just start subbing, because I don't know if I can finish out the school year at this school. Like, it's just too much, man. Like, these kids are too much. Like, and the hardest part, I think, is that we are having multiple behaviors in one classroom. So it's not just like kids that are special needs, it's also kids that are, you know, having behavior problems. So that's distracting and hard for the kids. Like, with the kids with autism, it's disrupting, and a lot of times the kids with autism are covering their ears or getting upset or getting triggered by the behaviors of the other students. So it's like a lot. And the kiddo that I work with is adorable, but like, it's hard. It's really hard, because you're lifting these kids all day, and then you come home and you're like, pick up your own kids, and you're like, oh my god, you're so light compared to the kid I work with. But I'm really kind of hopeful. I'm gonna try to be like super confident with, you know, my interview today. Like, I feel like I have a lot to offer, and places need to, like, you know, get on the ball, man. Like, I've seen jobs that have opened up or were never filled, like the one that I thought I was going to get last year. Not either of these two places, but the one that is open closest to where I live now. I sent the lady an email like, hi, I see that the position's still open. Like, wouldn't you rather have a position filled than not have it filled? They told me they didn't hire me because they wanted someone with more management experience, but that just meant that, like, the lady who would have been my boss at that location, like, it would, sorry, there's tree guys. Like, she just has to do all the work. So, like, wouldn't you want to just have somebody fill that position, and then maybe, like, and the kicker in all this is, like, it was for a university, so, like, it could very well send you to management classes, like, and comp it, like, so that's annoying. But, you know, like, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Like, it'd be great if I worked closer to my house, but at this point, most of the locations of jobs are in Allentown, so I really want to get back to, like, the Slate Belt, like where we were before, or get back to, like, I don't know, I'd say, like, between where my in-laws live and where we used to live, because I just feel like we're so far away. Like, I hate it. Like, I'm an hour from Allentown. I'm like 30 minutes from Wegmans, and yeah, I was 20 minutes before, but it wasn't like that bad. But I don't know, I'm hoping that I get a job, and then I can save up money. We can save enough money to get, like, a decent big house that's, you know, not huge, but big enough for us to grow into and stay in. But you know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what's in store. I'm really, you know, excited about the holidays, though, even though I'm totally unprepared. I gotta start doing that. I think I'm gonna do, like, what I'm getting my family vlog, because I had fun doing that last year, but honestly, I'm so overwhelmed and confused as to what I should get my children and my husband that I'm like, oh my god, I can't even think about it. it's like 6 weeks till Christmas and I have nothing. I have like a pair of pajamas for my kids and I think one book each, maybe. I don't even know if I have that, but you know, we'll see. Anyway, if you're just tuning in for the first time, thanks so much for stopping by. Make sure that you subscribe below and like and share. And if you're returning, thanks so much for coming. What are your feelings, guys? Tell me what you think about being a stay-at-home mom versus being a working mom, and how do you like survive and like muddle through everything. Let me know. Thanks. Bye-bye.